Star Citizen 4.3 is soon coming to a closer, as 4.3.1 is now just peeking right over the horizon. With that being said, there are a lot of new things being implemented into 4.3.1 that we need to talk about. Things of old that is now going to be new, from gameplay loops to ships to a couple other things here and there. But hey, it's FC here, and I'd like to welcome everyone back for another episode of Squawk Tawk. With the release of Star Citizen 4.3.1 coming right around the corner, we are going to be seeing something that hasn't been in the game for a very long time make a return, and that is medical gameplay in the form of service beacons. Now, while I was doing my first playtest of 4.3 in the PTU, I actually saw service beacons within the contract manager, and that really excited me.
Hold on, is that a service beacon? Yo, no way. Yo, hey, when's the last time you guys saw service beacons in the game functioning? Requires emergency medical treatment. Ooh, Amazon Clio. Yo, did they bring back medical beacons? Yo, I missed doing medical gameplay. I just realized that, yo. Hey, let it be.
For someone like me, medical gameplay really does excite me, mainly because you never know what you're gonna get. A lot of citizens out there don't actually like the whole entire beacon system, mainly because other players can fake it and use it as a way how to pirate people. But for me, I see it as an opportunity to engage in some PvP combat, which, as you guys know, is my bread and butter. I am not the best pilot out there, but when it comes to boots on the ground gameplay, I am all for it. So it's kind of, both for me. I enjoyed, if I actually am able to get out there to actually help someone who's actually in need, or if I get locked up into some battle because I walked into a trap. It will be my own fault for accepting it, but I'm also walking into it knowing that it can be both of those things right now. And so it does excite me that this is making a comeback into the verse. Helmets 2.0 is going to be hitting the verse as well sooner or later, where you're actually going to be able to see the helmets that you take off of your body that you supposedly store on your body will now be attached to your butt, or maybe like a hook of some type that's attached to your utility belt or something like that. Along the lines, they're going to pretty much physicalize your helmet. Instead of it being a little crate, it's now going to be an actual helmet shown at all times, which is going to be cool, especially if you want to show off your cool flare or your own headgear or whatever you have. It's going to be cool when it drops. Now, I might be reaching a little bit, but this could be an introduction to Starwear, something that was talked about during the last CitizenCon, where they were mentioning how you can, properly utilize different armor types and clothing and things like that. Also, with the utility belts and straps and stuff that you can use to store items on your legs or on your back or other parts of your body as well. I know it's a work in progress, but you have to let CIG cook while they're cooking. Also, there's supposed to be some brand new armor being dropped in 4.3.1. Hopefully, it's going to be that tank armor that they talked about during the last CitizenCon. Not sure what it's going to be called, but I am interested. Also, the brand new Volt LMG is supposed to be dropping in that patch, so I cannot wait for all of these new things to hit when 4.3.1 actually drops into the verse. We should expect this patch to drop near the end of September. We really never have any idea when they're going to drop any patches because they don't tell us till at least a few days beforehand. So you have to really keep an eye on those PTU updates for when they start talking about release candidates. Before I start squawking and talking and voicing my opinion on playability, let me first remind everyone that I am hosting a giveaway for the brand new Kruger Intergalactic L21 Wolf. All you gotta do in order to enter this giveaway is 1. Be a subscriber, and 2. Comment on any video that I post in between August 18th through September 18th in order to enter. Very simple and easy. Other than that, let's jump right into it. In 2024, during CitizenCon, CIG stated that they wanted 2025 to be the year of playability and stability. Well, they pretty much have done just that. They have really made the game run so much better than it has in previous years. Just in 2024, the game was running real ruddy and really bad. There was so many issues with it. FPS was always really low. Server FPS was never really able to maintain anything above like 5. But now we're doing really good now. We're just actually able to play the game. I am getting absolute ridiculous numbers on my computer without actually using a lot of the hardware CPU power, RAM, GRAM, any of that. I'm actually just running it as if it was a regular game without too many issues when it comes to stuttering or loss of frame rate or anything else like that. So CAG is doing something. They are cooking. A lot of people who may be walking into the game a little new probably doesn't realize just how bad this game used to actually run. It was ridiculous. You weren't really able to do anything in previous years just because there was 30Ks left and right. There was just all sorts of other issues and stuff that stopped people from playing the game. A lot of blockers, but now it's so much smoother. I think that a lot of people need to reflect, especially those people who are longtime players, they should reflect and think about where the game has come from to where it is now. Don't get it twisted, I do know that with every patch CIG drops, it usually always starts off real horrible and crappy and shitty. There's always something wrong with whatever they drop that's brand new into the game. But over time, everything becomes better. I personally have to go back and remake some of my videos because they are now irrelevant, because a lot of the things I talked about in those previous videos are no longer part of the game because either CIG patched out some of the issues with it, or some of the other stuff that's not working, they patched that out. For example, my how to farm supervisor cards at the Hother locations. That video is now obsolete because beforehand, you could just fly up to them and the boss would spawn. That no longer happens now. You have to actually do part of the mission in order to get the boss to spawn, in order to get the supervisor card. So CIG is working on a lot of things at the same time alongside Squawkin 42. So keep that in mind. So you just have to, be patient. As everyone says with this game, it's a patience game. I'm probably sure we're not going to see a 1.0 build of Star Citizen maybe 2 years after Squadron 42 drops, because that's their main game, that's their child that they want to put out first before the persistent universe. So we got to wait for it, which is not a big deal to me, but to some people who may be entering the verse for the first time probably doesn't even know that CAG's baby is another whole independent game called Squadron 42. So as always, patience is key when it comes to CIG and the way how they develop the game. And boom, that is pretty much it. That is another episode of Squawk Talk. I personally cannot wait for medical gameplay to make its mighty return to the verse because I do miss it. I miss every aspect of it. I miss the traps, and I miss actually helping citizens who need, help out there. I'm also curious what's going to happen with all the other things that they're going to drop. The brand new Vault LMG with a name I can't pronounce, and the new armor that they're talking about releasing in Star Citizen 4.3.1. Also, the Day of Vera is coming up, which is Star Citizen's Halloween event, which will allow you to get really cool helmets and, some skins you can buy for your ships as well, Halloween themed. Last year, we got some skull themed items for some of our ships, which is cool. But yeah, a lot is to come here in the near future, and I'm all for it. Again, as I said earlier, it just takes patience. With CIG, they do things slow because a lot of their task force is more or less geared towards Squadron 42 right now. So, updates and patches are rolling out a little bit slower than usual for the live build. Other than that, it was great. I really did enjoy what's going on right now currently in the current build, and it's just a lot of fun. But yeah, please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe if you made it this far into the video. It really does help push me up in the algorithm so more eyes are able to see the biggest bird in the verse. You guys already know who it is. FC out.